What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Joe's Bibles. Today I'm going to talk to you about my daily Bible and prayer journal. I have my journal wrapped in this leather cover, and it comes from Gaelen Lather Company, which I've been using this Bible cover or this journal cover pretty much since January 1st, and I bought it brand new. So let's take a look at my journal, what it is, and what I've been using since January 1st. Let me pull it out. Okay, so this is a Hobonichi Techo Cousin 2024, and it's basically the entire year. So I'm going to walk you through from the beginning to the later sections, okay? Okay, so when you open it, you get the whole calendar for 2024, last year's calendar, and the next year's calendar. So this really is more of a planner, but I use it as a daily Bible journal and prayer journal. So then you get this layout with 6 months. It is a vertical layout. And I didn't really know what to do with this, so I still don't really even know what to do with this one. I tried using it as a tracker, didn't really work. Second page or second spread is the next 6 months of the year. And here I utilized it the way that it's probably meant to be used. Then comes the monthly spreads, and there's 12 of these, actually more than that. It's December all the way to January of next year. And here I just wrote sort of key things in December. Again, didn't really know what to do with it. January, still didn't know what to do with it. But when I really got going was in April. And I started doing my one-sentence summaries and recording it on the spread, the calendar spread, because I really enjoy seeing all of my one-sentence summaries from my daily devotionals kind of all in one space so I can see how God has been working in my life. I keep referring to the one-sentence summary. I'll leave a link down below. So that's the monthly spreads. So it goes from December of last year, 2023, all the way to, actually it goes into even February and March of next year. So wow, that's very generous. So it goes from December to March of next year. So it gives you quite a bit of room. So this is the calendar spread is about my one-sentence summary. Then the next section is basically a weekly spread, a vertical weekly spread. And in the beginning, you could see all these empty spots, empty places. I didn't really know what to do with it. So I just kind of left it alone until I figured out what to do with it. And when I started really getting into it or figured out how to use it was in the month of July. Actually, month of July. And basically, I've got this whole weekly spread, and each column is a day of the week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the way that I started using this that really worked for me is I divided the vertical columns into two. The first part records my highlights of the day. So if God brought something to me that's like significant enough, but not so significant that I want to journal about it, I just did quick bullet points of the highlights of the day. And then at the bottom, as you could guess, it's the lowlights of the day. What bothered me? What do I need to bring in prayer to the Lord? So the top part, highlights. Bottom part is the lowlights. So again, I love looking at like the big picture of things, kind of like the calendar, the full calendar that showed me the one-sentence summary. Here, I like to be able to look at what happened in the week. How did God meet me in the week? What were some things that I need to bring to him, or maybe he wants me to pay attention to that are not highlights, but more lowlights? The markers that I use are these mild liners. So gray for the bottom, and then blue for the top. After the weekly spreads, then comes the daily pages. And I did a whole video on what the daily page looks like. That video is called My Devotional Routine. Look for that video. I'll link it down below too. But this is how I use it. Sometimes I'll even put in receipts of like significant purchases or times with somebody. Sometimes I just don't have a whole lot to journal about, so I just write in big letters that are colorful and kind of punchy. Let's see, sometimes I will put photos. So for instance, my parents visited this week of April 6th, and so I just put photos of them in there. because I didn't really have a whole lot of time to write in the journal because my parents were there or visiting us here. And let's see, after that, there's really not much else. Sometimes I'll do a to-do list on the left side, but basically this main column that takes up about 2/3 of the page is where I record all of my Bible reading reflections or some notes that I want to take. The back are a bunch of things that I don't really use. I tried doing prayer requests here, but I ended up not doing it. Actually, I had a bunch of blank pages that I just didn't use, blank daily pages that I didn't use. So I went back and I just decided, let's make those blank pages to pray or for prayer. So this first page is pray for family, and this is my immediate family, my wife, my 3 kids, my parents, my sister, and my brother-in-law. Second prayer page is pray for Lighthouse. That's the name of my church. So I pray for my elders, staff, as well as the missionaries that we support. Next prayer page is pray for the unsaved and the prodigals. Praying for a friend of mine here. Started another page called pray for the sick, and then I'm going to write down all of the people that are going through ailments in my church. I'm going to record the day that I started praying for them, and then if there was an answer to prayer, I'll record it here too along with the date. Praying for friends, and then just basically daily prayer. So I just started this section yesterday. Let me show you the different tabs that I have. So there's a tab for my 1-sentence summary, so it's easy for me to get to, this yellow tab right here. It's easy to go, bam, there is the calendar spread for my 1-sentence summaries. There's also a tab here for my highlights and lowlights. Bam, it's right there. And then I tab out today because this doesn't have a ribbon, so I just use one of these tabby things and then move it each day. Another tab that I have is blank pages. So if there's blank pages that I didn't use and I want to use those for scrap, just mark out the next available blank page. And then here is a thing called spec. It's a way to engage with the text. Like, let's say you're doing a Bible study, a devotional, and you're reading a chapter or maybe a chunk of scripture. Spec is just a way for you to process the passage. And so spec stands for sin to confess, promise to keep, example to follow, command to obey, and then knowledge about God. So in the passage that I just read, is there something that I need to learn about sin, or is there a sin to confess or avoid as a result of reading that chapter? Is there a promise that I need to keep from the passage or chapter? Is there an example to follow, a command to obey, and then knowledge about God? So just a structure. I didn't come up with that. Somebody else did, but I thought, oh, that's a neat structure. So I just made a page for it and then created a tab so it's easy to get to. And then the writing tool that I use is this big silver pen. This is from Pentel. This is an EnerGel liquid gel ink. So anyway, this is my journal. Let me know in the comments down below if you use a journal. What kind of journal do you use? How do you use it? Love to hear about that. Have a great day, everybody.